States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible.
I'm going to read a statement. We've been having to read this the last few months. And thank you all. Our board has adopted policy and procedure 14/1400P, meeting order of business forum, which are available on the district website. This policy ensures that all meetings are conducted in a civil, orderly, and business-like manner. Whether you're a board member, staff, student, or guest, you all follow the same standards of civility during these meetings. Starting July 1, 2024, all regular board meetings are audio and video recorded and available on the district website in compliance with RCW 42.30.00. These recordings, which include board comments and public testimony, kept for at least 1 year. Public comment is required at regular meetings when final action as defined by RCW 42.0204 is taken. We value public participation, and each regular board meeting includes a public comment period as required by the Open Public Meetings Act, RCW 42.30.24. Comments can be made verbally or in writing. Written comments must be submitted at least 24 hours before the meeting and must follow the board's standards of civility. Public comment is limited to 30 minutes, that's total, with each speaker allotted 3 minutes. You cannot donate time to other speakers or speak more than once if time remains. This period is for the board to listen, not to engage in dialogue. The board will not respond to comments, questions, or challenges during the comment period, and silence should not be interpreted as agreement or disagreement. However, the board chair may ask for clarification, and district staff may follow up with individuals after the meeting. Please be mindful of the impact of your words. Each speaker is responsible for their own statements, not the district. Certain remarks could violate privacy laws or be considered defamatory. If you are unsure about the legal implications of your comments, we recommend seeking legal advice. In closing, we ask that everyone help us model for our students what a respectful and inclusive community looks like. Now we are going to this, and I will ask if someone will approve the regular school board meeting minutes for Thursday, September 26th.
I'll move to approve.
Approval of the special school board executive session meeting minutes for Tuesday, October 29, 2024.
To approve the special school board executive closed session meeting.
Public comments on agenda items, and we do have them.
Can I wait until the end?
I think so. Is that okay?
To move the public comments on agenda items to the end.
Oh, I'll move to approve the
Aye. Approval of the consent agenda. The one. Oh, man, it's just a curiosity. Breckenridge Company for
Our speech language pathologists, we contract for 2
full-time, basically speech language pathologists, because the number of students that we teach is very high. And that boosted once those students started coming back from COVID. And this is nationwide, they actually lowered they changed the norm chart because so many students were impacted.
And fiscal and enrollment.
Well, we need
No.
to approve it.
To approve the consent agenda.
All in favor?
Aye.
I like the fiscal, we would like the fiscal enrollment, and these are things.
So we're going to go ahead and start with our payroll comparison, and this is all for September, so we're always a month behind, just to remind everybody. So our total for September 2024 was, for payroll, was $785,210, which if you will look over in that purple column, right here to the, in here, this is a 3-year comparison, and then the change is obviously up over the years. But if you look at just 23, 24, the difference between that, we'd like to see it be a little bit more with all the changes that we made, but it's only $5,683 difference, so that's where we're at. To enrollment. So for enrollment, we're still above, we talked about this numerous times, how we budget very conservatively for enrollment. So for October, so we're kind of more in the month that we're talking about, we were at 484.08 for K through 12. And then with our 29 TK students, up our 12 to 513.08. Running start, we're up a little bit from what we have budgeted for at 8.94. And enrollment for open doors, which this is growing, you'll see next month, because they just have a lot more qualifications to be able to be counted. So we're at 4 for the month of October. Questions on enrollment? Our total revenue for the month of September is $806,243. A little bit of that gets accrued back to August, and so we'll be closing out the books, and that'll be a big report next month. We did have some grants that we're switching from iGrants into EGMS that weren't available, so that we weren't able to do grant claim on some of those grants that weren't available at this time. And then our expenditures were $1,217,438. Just kind of go through that again. The revenue expenditures, which our revenue was, oops. So we're at 6.87% of our budget revenue at $806,243. So, and then as far as just comparison what we were budgeted, we kind of budgeted low for the month of September just because of, we knew that we were going to be transitioning some grant from one system to the other for the state, and they so we're up $40,511 for that. And hopefully next month will be good because everybody's paid their taxes today, so so we have that budgeted at a higher rate for October. As far as expenditures go, we, like I said, we spent $1,217,438, which was 9.6% of what was budgeted. Higher, so we are $154,448 over what we had budgeted for, so hopefully that will simmer down starting out the school year. A lot of things to sign lately. As far as ASB goes, their total revenue for September was $5,896, and their expenditures were $5,090, so the revenue was up $806. Any questions on the, we'll know a lot more next month. We have everything's been submitted and accepted, and so then I just have to do the presentation. And then that's when we're going to start again with the fund balance and kind of showing that comparison again, but everything just has to level out, and then we'll go back to doing that. So, all right.
Representative.
I'm gonna sit here because I feel a little more comfortable doing that.
Perfect.
So fundraisers, I'm more than mom, I'm those two. But fundraisers that are happening in the school was seniors are doing Boo-grams, and they actually passed them out today. I currently do not know how much money they raised from that yet. And then,
You're good.
Yeah.
this is
You're doing great.
and the things that we approved has been football bag, embroidery board, supplies, the concession stands for $700, and then membership fees for MS for $30. II district for 1 annual membership fee. Happening in the high school is that the Upper Skagit Library has, like, they finished making cards for students so that they can, like, buy books and then, not buy books, but get books and then they would come to the school. Got them and then every student got one. And then we had a Taste of Washington, which the food was provided by local farms and farmers food. And I'm pretty sure every student liked it because it's bomb. It's amazing. It's good. And teachers also came in and ate. Talking about a district-wide assembly for Veterans Day. We're still in the process of planning that, but we're almost done. We talked about it yesterday during our meeting, during advisory, but it's getting approved right now.
Approved at the ASB meeting.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Is there any questions?
Thank you. One quick question about the library cards.
There's like a barcode thing that you use your phone. No, I did it.
And they'll bring them up to the appeal.
The delivery date's gonna be Wednesdays, if there are books to deliver. And, next week on our website will be because they created just for us as a beta test, the Skagit Kids library page, so the elementary will be directed to the Skagit Kids, Skagit Library Consortium page. They want us to work out the kinks before they release it to the other schools.
Okay.
She's got some trick or treating to do.
Not me, I don't trick or treat anymore.
Oh, you don't benefit from this at all?
No, I just take the boys.
From your superintendent's report.
Yeah, twice a year per the USDEA, the teacher, certificated, contract with teachers to discuss discipline. Not only the discipline numbers, but our process, our policies. So we met today with the high school teachers. I'm just gonna read, so to date, so from September 4th to October 31st, the greatest number of discipline referrals are for inappropriate conduct, 22.9%, followed by insubordination, 18%, electronic violation, 13.6%, and then physical aggression, 11%. The two grades that seem to be getting the most discipline referrals are 7th grade at 27% and 10th grade at 26%, followed by 8th grade at 20%. And then the other grades are substantially lower. And 47% of these offenses happen in the classroom, 15% in PE. I guess people get like riled up or something in PE. And then 21% is unspecific. That's generally if the student is skipping, they've left campus, that we can't say it's in the classroom. And we are having quite a bit of skipping going on. This could also be as they're walking to the tech building. It's not in a hallway or classroom, but something happens. So those are our numbers. By gender, 52% of the discipline referrals have been, 32% have been for male and 68% are female. We're looking at our what's called discipline matrix, which says, let's say somebody has a cell phone violation once, and the teacher says, please put your phone away, and the student says, no, I refuse, you're not taking my phone, it's my phone. Well, then it becomes insubordination. So that's one day. The next day it happens again. At that point, usually there's a call to the parent saying, really, this phone's causing problems in the classroom. If the parent says, well, it's my kid's phone, you're not taking it away, then we go to the next thing. So there's levels of discipline. Basically, the teacher's stance is, if a student can't follow simple instructions, they become a safety risk in the school, right? Like if we had a simple instruction like, please change seats, please close your Chromebook, please, right? It becomes a battle. Day after day, it becomes, the level of discipline is higher. Right now, our discipline is pretty limited to lunch detentions. We have suspended a few students this year when it's day after day, period after period of just not listening to staff. But we're looking at our discipline matrix because it's complicated, and it doesn't help anybody understand, well, if you've done this 5 days in a row now, we have to move to something else. And we want it easy to read by parents and students. And so we just broke into groups today where 3 staff are going to take on the discipline matrix, and then we'll include students in it as well, and parents as they start having some suggestions, so that by spring we could roll it out for the following year. So that's discipline. I didn't bring the elementary because they haven't had their first meeting yet on it. And then the shared principal position. So we heard from teachers on Tuesday quite a bit about this. As you know, so we have 3 of us. Jackie's doing the TK-12 principal, primarily focused on teacher support, so all the evaluations. Jennifer's doing the assistant principal, TK-12, primarily focused on students. So she works with ASB, she helps plan the assemblies, she meets the students in the morning at the bus. She helps with the daily announcements, those types of things. Just kind of the fun stuff. And then she's at the high school until 10, and then I go over from 10 to 3, and I take on like working with the paras that are doing the monitoring of the lunch time, the hallways, a lot of discipline, and kind of operations like scheduling of things and processes for teachers. So there's always an admin there at the high school, but I think the comments were, it'd be nice if we just had one person. Have one person because of finances. And so we will need to brainstorm this, because when teachers talk to me, it all comes down to discipline. They're concerned for their safety, or somebody's not responding fast enough. And so is that an admin, or is that we need a school safety officer, or we need more paras, or we need somebody to be in an in-house suspension room so students can be sent? Because like I said, there are admin there now, we just, if you're down this hallway, you can't be down that hallway. So, we will meet and brainstorm and come up with some ideas moving forward. Yep.
Come up with a perfect, great.
You guys will bring that information, what you guys brainstorm to the board.
Yes, and because the elementary has its own situation, so we'll probably have two different teams, like a high school and elementary team. Right now, we have a para position with no one applying for it, and so I could say, oh yeah, we'll get 4 more paras, but we don't even have one applying for the current open position.
Thank you. We go to recognition, which we don't have anybody. Well, that's really probably true. The problem's the bad. Old business, we don't have any old business. We've got new business though. And that, is approval of the first reading, and I'm sorry, just say this, on this thing, it's for anybody that hasn't been here. We go over, like, the first policy, 2409, World Language Mastery Based Credit, and Monday to Tuesday, we talk about it. Motion to approve the first reading of policy 2409, World Language Mastery Based Credit.
I move we approve first reading of policy number 2409, World Language Mastery.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of the first reading of policy 3206, pregnant and parenting students.
I'll move to approve.
Aye.
Approval of the first reading of policy 5012, parental, family, or marital status in pregnancy or related conditions of staff.
I move we approve the first reading of policy number 5012, parental, family, or marital status and pregnancy or related conditions of staff.
Of the in lieu of transportation contract for Elizabeth Donovan, 2025.
I'll move to approve the transportation contract for Elizabeth.
Aye.
Approval of the in lieu of transportation contract for Lindsay Moniz through January 31st, 2025.
Contract for Lindsay Moyes through January 31st, 2025.
All in favor? These we combine. Approval of resolutions to invest number 1490 and 1490.
Aye.
Now, we've got this resolution of a complaint against a staff member on your policy and procedure.
Of complaint against the staff. Policy procedure. Do I need to read?
I think we can do that. Just
resolution of complaint against staff member under policy 4220. I move to this. Complaint filed on September 26th. Policy 4220 with a clarification to Superintendent Crickmore to process all complaints appropriate to policy 4220, including anonymous complaints. I have a motion.
That was
All in
the,
favor?
I,
Now, comments if you want to.
We'll just ask if there's public comments on non-agenda.
I do, actually. I have one about a non-agenda, and I have one about the agenda, if that's okay. Do you want to run them together, or it's up to you guys, how you guys want to do it?
Couple of minutes on this, which was the,
Agenda item first.
yeah, and that would have been, we would have done it up first.
Yeah.
So we'll give you, we could give you 2 3-minute segments.
that's it.
Is it a 3 minutes just
It's
total?
3.
I don't need 3 minutes, but that's all right. On the non-agendas first? Or the
Agenda.
The agenda item,
Yeah.
okay. You want me to stand up?
Sure.
All right. So the agenda item obviously is complaints that I filed against Mary Crickmore, right? I personally understand after getting a records request, you're very underpaid for your job. Completely seeing salaries of other superintendents. I feel for you. You have a very tough job. You have multiple roles to fill. That's not fair. I think what district can do a job of filling those positions. And I think that the board needs to figure out where we can cut costs and move forward so that you can focus more on not just these complaints, but your relationship with the community, your relationship with your staff, your relationship with your community, and your students. I mean, all of it is super important. I'm not upset about the resolution the board's come to. I agree with that. I hope that we can move forward in changing some of our policies and move forward on 4220 so that we all have a very clear understanding of how that should look moving forward. So I asked board to obviously look into making some changes to some of these policies to make sure that everybody is all the way across the board. You guys can't get information from your community of what is not happening correctly if these policies are hindering your ability to do so. So I think we should work on trying to address some of these policies so that it is easier for us to communicate. And like I said in our meeting on Tuesday, I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't have gotten to the board. I should not have gotten anywhere past the principal, but since it is in the principal, following policy 4220 is impossible. I can't do it. So, that's all I have for now.
Was that another?
Yeah, so the other thing, the non-agenda item that I would like to bring to your attention is also here Tuesday for you guys as staff, whatever. I heard a lot, and I've also heard a lot tonight about having issues with disciplinary actions and just a lot of students not doing what they're supposed to, and you guys struggling with that. Cedar Woolwich School District, along with, I believe, Burlington and Mount Vernon, the program is called Watchdogs. Watchdogs brings in father figures, whether it's aunt or uncles, grandparents, like grandfathers, dads. It's a complete volunteer program. They all volunteer. That can alleviate a lot of the stress on our staff members. That can alleviate a lot of our disciplinary actions. Just having fathers either in the hallways or on campus or in the classrooms or in lunchrooms or any of these things. And it's a complete volunteer. And I think the more fathers or father role models that we can get into the building to help out and alleviate these issues could very well help us. The fee for that is typically about $500 for a starter package, and that is per school. So it would be the elementary school, the middle school, and the high school. You could probably combine the middle school and the high school since they're both smaller into a single package. And those programs are available online. It's a 7-step program, and it is a package. So there's training seminars, videos, and a lot of the administration would have to go through some of the training. But the fee associated with what I think that the district as a whole could gain from it is, it's substantial. So I think we should do some research on that. See if we can get some more community involvement.
I'm glad you said the name, because I had told somebody like 3 weeks ago, wasn't like, hey, there's this program that I've seen like on the news, exactly that, so I didn't know the name of it.
And the other audit figures, because like she was just saying, there's a lot of, like a majority of that discipline was females.
Right, but how many male staff members do we have in the school district?
Yeah, not many.
So we're dealing with an all-female staff.
What about grandfather figures? Sorry.
Grandfathers.
40% male.
Yeah, high school has quite
Yeah.
a few. Yeah, 40, that's not bad.
But elementary's
Yeah, elementary's.
1% male.
I can see where I think that one.
Down, you're talking.
And then-
Thank you.
The other thing that I wanted to mention too is fundraisers. I saw that we're obviously struggling financially. The movie theater in town, but if we could get together and cooperate with them and try to get some more funds raised, and if we can work with some of the local community in the process of doing that, whether we host there or host here with newer movies or whatever, if we can get on board with them and charge a fee to do more community involvement, I think that would help us.
She's gone next month.
But-
Yeah.
For your thoughtful, positive comments.
No problem.
Appreciate it, and we'll work on some of it. That is it. There are future meetings. No workshop in November. The next regular board meeting will be held at 6, Thursday, November 21st. There's no executive session, and so do I just say the meeting's adjourned? This meeting is adjourned. Oh, I should have just said.